For days now, speedboats bearing rescue teams have been combing the flooded plains across southern Mozambique, where surging waters have forced thousands to flee their homes, leaving some stranded on rooftops. The floods have directly impacted more than 620,000 people, with over 72,000 homes flooded and widespread damage to roads, bridges and health centers, according to the International Federation of the Red Cross.
We have rescued a lot of people in this risk zone and brought them to this site. We then take their details, we give them some food, and if they have family nearby, they go. If not, we fetch them by car to a resettlement camp that we have provided.
The South African National Defence Force has deployed a search and rescue team to assist in Mozambique, with more assets set to be deployed. The Mozambican government has also declared a red alert, turning for help to the UN as several regions remain at risk from rising water levels.
Nearly 5,000 kilometers of roads have sustained damage across 9 provinces of Mozambique, with the main road connecting the capital, Maputo, to the rest of the country now inaccessible. Supply chain lines are significantly disrupted, and authorities report the loss of more than 27,000 heads of livestock. The government is leading the response. On Saturday, it formally requested UN support for search and rescue operations, preventative evacuations, damage assessment, and the provision of temporary shelters.
The crisis has forced Mozambican President Daniel Francisco Chapo to cancel his planned trip to Davos, where he was scheduled to attend the World Economic Forum this week. In neighboring Zimbabwe, authorities say the death toll from heavy rains and flooding has risen to 78 since the start of the rainy season in October. Over 60 have been injured and more than 1,000 homes damaged. Infrastructure has also been hit, including schools, health facilities and bridges. In South Africa, the death toll from flooding rose to 38 on Monday after more bodies were recovered overnight. The country declared a national disaster on Sunday as it ramped up its emergency response in Limpopo and Mpumalanga provinces. David Mbidi, CGTN.
Right, for a deeper look into the extreme weather patterns in southern Africa, let's bring in Professor Jasper Knight. He is a professor of physical geography at the University of Witwatersrand and joins us from Johannesburg. Professor, thank you for joining us on the program. Just give us a brief explanation of what is driving this massive flooding we're seeing in Mozambique, South Africa and Zimbabwe.
Good afternoon to you. Well, of course, the reason behind the floods is heavy rainfall. And in southern Africa at this time of year, during the spring and early summer, we have seasonal rains. And this comes to us mainly from low pressure cells coming from the adjacent Indian Ocean. But this is a normal part of our climatology. But in this particular instance, we've had heavy rain coming from other types of weather systems called cut-off lows, which arise where we have moist air drawn down towards the land surface from the jet stream, and this gives rise to very intense rainfall. So here we have a critical combination of several climatological factors that have given rise to substantial rains over a relatively long time period, and that's essentially what's driven the flood risk right across southern Africa.
Right, and why has this persisted for so long? In some parts, this started as early as October last year.
Well, one important contributing factor is actually climate change. And the reason for this is that if we have warmer temperatures in the ocean and in the atmosphere, it can evaporate more water and give rise to more rainfall. It also gives rise to more erratic patterns of rainfall as well. And this is also something that is affecting the frequency of these storm events, especially in southern Africa. These things are becoming not just more common, they are becoming more erratic and heavy in their nature. And this increases flood risk.
Right, and let's talk specifically about Mozambique. The nation does seem to be getting hit quite often and very intensely. How do you explain this?
Well, first of all, it lies adjacent to the Indian Ocean. So this is going to be the first location where these low pressure cells from the Indian Ocean hit the land. And also, of course, many parts of Mozambique are actually low lying. So they're flat, they're adjacent to big rivers, and therefore they are at increased risk of flooding. And this is an important contributing factor to the floods that are taking place in southern Mozambique at the moment.
Right. And finally, Professor, looking ahead here, what can we expect in the coming days in the region? Is this likely to get worse, or can we expect some relief soon?
Well, here we're coming out of the rainy season in the Southern Hemisphere. So over the next month or so, we should certainly anticipate that some of these storms should disperse. But of course, over time, the rivers are going to dry up. So the water level is going to fall. And this, of course, will affect aid efforts. So it will make it a little bit easier for these aid agencies, such as the Red Cross that was mentioned earlier, to actually get access to some of these cut-off villages and provide aid to distressed communities.